Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I am Nicodemus Kane. It is April the 1st of 2022. Some people call it April Fool's Day because reasons. Other people, like me, call it April Fool's Day because this is probably closer to the first day of the year, what we consider a year, than anything in January. And you are the fool because they got you to believe it. So there's that. I'm not trying to call anybody an absolute fool. I'm just saying that the more you fall for it, the more the fool are you, apparently. That's why we're here. We're here to pull people out of the lies. We're here to try to find some understanding in this world, some kind of some kind of reason, some kind of logic, something that will get us out of this evil that has been created around us for years upon years upon years and is consuming us every single day. We are trying to find the truth, the absolute truth in everything. So let's go ahead and get into this. I could talk about so many other things, but I had such a bad dream last night that I am not even I'm not even gonna go over much of anything. Let's just hop right into this because it was pretty bad. So today we're going to read Psalm 119, SHIN. The King James says SCHIN. The Hebrew for Christians and everybody else says SHIN, SHIN, or SIN, SIN. It said it counts if there's a dot on the right side, it is SHIN. If a dot's on the left side, it is SIN. The pictograph, down here, the pictograph is fire. That's what they said it was. It looks like a W, but it is depicting fire. Gematria of 300. It is the 21st letter in the alphabet. There's nothing here to talk about. They said that the word literally translates to tooth or fire, or it looks like fire. It has the understanding of fire. But let me go back here. I don't want to lose that though. It is in reference to the consuming fire of salvation. You are put through the fire of sacrifice, the pillar of fire that the Israelites followed, the trial by fire that I know that I remember reading something like that in the New Testament, but I cannot put my place on it. As we are all tried through the fire at the end. And somebody has said that before, is that we will all be purged through the fire. Only some people will be staying there. I don't know. I don't remember exactly where that was. But I remember that was kind of a thing. That God will destroy this world with fire at the end. That he will not flood it anymore because that didn't work. So this time he will burn everything. And fire will melt everything that's on this world, including iron, including any mechanical things, which makes you think, why they're trying to create robots, why they're trying to upload their consciousness into computers. Fire will burn it all away. That was what somebody else said too, is that they're doing their damnness to upload their consciousness into robots so that they could live forever. But God is going to come consume everything in fire. Fire melts iron. But I found something interesting in this. Um, it's the most used letter in the alphabet. It comes in the front of, what was the one that they were saying? It's Shalom, which is peace. Where's the other one? Shaddai, as in El Shaddai, as in one of the names of God. It also comes in front of Sheker, I guess that's right, Sheker, which is to lie or falsehood. Now, when you take the last two letters that we've done, Kaf and Rish, and you put them in front of Shaddai, you hear me? You put them in front of Shin, you get liar. It reads backwards, of course, but if you follow them the way that we follow them, then it means to lie, a falsehood. You remember that I think it was Resh, I think that's the way we pronounced it, I don't remember, that was about the falsehood, about a false person, about the lie of this world, and I said that I went looking for the meaning of the letter, and I wound up getting hit with all of the lies of this world. I thought it was interesting that it was like that. So when you put those three letters back to back like that, you get the word lie, falsehood, a falseness. It is almost as if we are moving away from the truth as we get further into the alphabet. You remember the Aleph, the one. That's the wholeness, the truth. But we are moving further and further away, and the more we move away from it, the more that the pictographs have started looking like body parts. Once we started getting into the pictographs that look like the mouth, or the head, or the vanity of people, the more that the meanings have started changing to something other than truth and light and hope. These have started turning into, bad things. So maybe there's something there. I don't know. Maybe the further away you move from the beginning, from the Aleph, maybe you're moving further away from God. I cannot say that's 100% certain, but it seems to work out that way. I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to you guys. Let's see what you guys think about that. But the Shin looks like fire, and I thought this was interesting. There's a couple interesting things that I found while I was looking through this stuff. Shalom is peace. So whenever you take the letters out of peace, out of shalom, it's four letters. You have the Shin, which is fire. You have the, oh goodness, Lamed, there it is, which is the wind. Oh, come on now. It's been a second since we've been through these, you remember? It's definitely been a second since we've been through these. I'm going to go here. Was it the Vav? The Zayin? I think it was the Zayin, which was the earth. Was that right? And then the Mem, which was the water. So within Shalom, within the word peace, is fire, wind, earth, and water. Now, I don't know. I don't remember if the meanings of the words were exactly like that. I do remember there was one that was more towards wind, and there was one more towards earth, the grounding, the grounding of us. I don't remember the water, though. It is possible. Let me just open them up anyways. So, Lamed, which was... go down here. Which was to goad. And I remember it was to goad, as if the wind pushes you. Oh, man, hold on. I just sneezed. That was great. Glad I was a part of that. Uh, Sometimes they sneak up on you and you get hit, and it's just like, oh. But I remember it was one of the meanings of Lamed was it's a goading, it's a pushing, wind pushes. Uh, what's the sign? Let me see. I think that's what it was. I could be wrong. Could always be wrong. I don't think it was a Vav because that's man. But it doesn't say how it's. I think it's what it was. That's the wrong one. Man, I got to blow my nose again. Hold on a second. It's one of those days, man. It's gonna be one of those days. Yesterday work was terrible, and then today I wake up to nightmares and this. It's just gonna be one of those days. All I can say is, please, Father, help me get through this. Uh, what was it the saying? It's the understanding, the root. It's not man, so it is not. It's not the Vav. It's got to be what it is because it's rooted. It's the Holy Father, the crowned the Holy Father, the holy person, the crowned person, the one that is the base, the earth, the foundation, if you will. I remember hearing a meaning of that as well as I was looking through it. So what's the last one? Last one is the mem. It's the water. Is that right? Okay. The mem as the water. The pictograph represents the water, the wave of a water. So I may be wrong about the Zayn. I may be wrong about that. I'm telling you guys, it's not a perfect thing. It's not a Yod, was it? What is a Yod? No, it wasn't a Yod. No, I don't think it was a Yod. I think we got it right. But it was the shape of it all. Um, but it is the connection. It's like it says right there, the connection of reality to all that exists. Because God used the four elements in order to make us. He took the dirt. He took the dirt of the earth. He blew life into it. We are made of water. So somewhere along the line there was water into that equation as well. But he took the dirt of the earth, blew into it, filled us with water, and then put the fire of life into us. We are the four elements of this world. We are the one connection to God in this world. We are that connection to all things. That is us. It's what he did for us. and we are connected to him because of that. So to hear the word peace, shalom, to see that it's made of those 4 letters is pretty cool. It's a pretty neat thing. It was one of those things where it was just like, the only thing that I've been finding about the definition of this word has been this kind of stuff. That, the letter SHIN does this, and then there's, it starts the word shalom. It starts the word shaddai, which is something else that they were saying as well. But it also starts word, I know this is let's see if I can get it right here. This is the living word. This is a video. I'm not going to play a video. But inside of, I think it was right here. Where'd it go? It starts out the word God, El Shaddai, which again is Shin, Rish, and Yod. And I think the guy says that it is, of course. Let's see, I don't even know if you guys can. Shin Daled Yud. Shin Daled Yod. That's what we've been saying, Yod. Which is El Shaddai, which is, one of the names of God. So it's interesting to see how that comes together. And this guy went on to other stuff as well. Again, I'm not going to cover everything. But that's not the biggest one. The biggest one, where was it at that he did it? He was talking about Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 9:3. Whenever it comes back to the fire. So let me go right here. I even have it in mine. I can read it off the screen. Or I can just read it here. So Deuteronomy 9:3. Understand therefore this day that the Lord thy God is he which goeth over before thee as a consuming fire. He shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before thy face. So as the consuming fire, the word fire is an aleph and a shin. It is the first letter and the 21st letter. Aleph Shin is fire, is that consuming fire, which is kind of cool, And in another way, we were talking about how it seems like the further we go away from the aleph, the more these letters start turning and taking a different shape. They start turning a different way. But this is the first letter and the 21st letter. That consuming fire, that cleansing fire. I just thought it was interesting. That's all. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying that that's the way it is. I am not a Hebrew scholar. I am not a Hebrew alphabet scholar. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just reading this stuff off the internet so that we can have a better idea of what the letters mean as we read through Psalm 119. Okay? There are better teachers out there than I am. Believe me, and I am not perfect. So don't listen to me. Find it out for yourself. Somebody out there has it better than I do. But that was what I found, and I just wanted to share that. So anyways, with all that being said, with an understanding of what the word means, we can read through this and see if we can pull what the letter means out of the verses, like we've been doing with just about every other one that we've read. So, SHIN. Princes have persecuted me without a cause, but my heart standeth in awe of thy word. I rejoice at thy word, as one that findeth great spoil. I hate and abhor lying, but thy law do I love. 7 times a day do I praise thee because of thy righteous judgments. Great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. Lord, I have hoped for thy salvation, and done thy commandments. My soul hath kept thy testimonies, and I love them exceedingly. I have kept thy precepts and thy testimonies, for all my ways are before thee. Amen to that. That is the fire. That is the fire in your heart. Somebody was saying what happens to people that find the word and believe it. They are filled with that fire from the very beginning. They are filled with that passion, that fire to want to learn more, to study everything they can, to walk the path as much as they can, to spread the word as much as they can. It consumes you. It makes you want to give it your all, 100% of yourself. But they were saying that fire fizzles because people start saying that this world has lost that fire. They've lost that will to understand. They've lost that reason to care. And the true believer starts pulling back just a little by little. And I admit I have done this. When I started, I was passionate. I was like, we're going whole hog into this one. We're going to follow everything. We're going to read everything. We're going to do everything and go and go and go and go and go. And I admit there was a point a couple years back, whenever all this started, where I wasn't able to follow the routine that I was following. And when they sent us home to work from home, I absolutely admit that I started falling back into old habits. And I started getting that message that people are so fired up for it, are so ready to go. Those first couple years, you're just like, give me everything, let me consume everything, and it starts to pull back, because you start realizing that this is the biggest uphill battle you will ever fight in your entire life, because people just will not listen. People will condemn you and hurt you and destroy you. They will push you down. They will tell you you're wrong. They will tell you everything that I've heard it all. People that I know and love and trust just completely condemned me because I came to the truth, and they all just looked at me like, what? And it's like, no, come on, man. You just listen for a second. No, we're not like that. We can't follow that. We can't do this, can't do that. And almost came to the point where it was like, we just can't be friends anymore. It's like, what? Why? It doesn't, my beliefs because of this it doesn't mean that I have to just do away with our friendship that we've had for years. It's like, no, we can't hang out with you anymore because you're one of them now. It's like, what? But that's the way it is. It starts getting to you. It really does start getting to you. And I am the first to admit that it's exactly what happened. I have lost every friend I've ever had. I do not have friends anymore. I have not talked to, the only friends that I can even remotely think that I have are strangers that I barely talk to, you know. The flat Earth group that I found, we haven't talked to each other in a while because we had some, there were some deaths in the group, and it was a pretty hard winter for everybody, so we haven't really been talking to each other in a while. Um, but that's about the best I get, and that doesn't even happen that much at all. I'm just kind of out here floating by myself. But it doesn't mean you're alone. But it feels like that. That's why people start pulling away. That's why that fire starts dimming a little bit. That's why there's so many references to keeping oil in your lantern, to keeping hot or cold. But no, you decided to be lukewarm. You decided to mix it. About following the fire through the wilderness. About keeping that fire in your heart. About keeping that drive. That's what it keeps telling you. That's what this is. It's the trying to keep it there, following that straight and narrow path, not following the broad way that leads to destruction. If that makes any sense at all. I'm sure it makes sense. It makes sense to me. It sounds about right. But but that's what that is. That's the SHIN. That's that's that consuming fire. That's that driving fire. That's that driving force. But you get that at the beginning, and you just want to fall in. Some people I've seen have they got that fire and they just kept that fire, and they still kept that fire, and their lives have changed, or their lives have gotten so much better because of it. YouTubers that I follow, people that I follow and listen to, and it's like they start out as like these conspiracy theorists, and then you give it enough time, and then they start talking about God, and then you give it enough time, and they start talking about biblical things. They move away from the conspiracies, they move into biblical things, and then they start just talking about nothing but biblical things, and they start talking about these changes that have happened in their lives, and about how things, how their world has turned around, and all this stuff, and you start hearing that, and I've heard that from people, but they kept it, they kept that drive, they kept that fire, and it's your life changes. It's where was it? We're going to go back through this. The great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. It is a peace that comes over people. I know for a fact there's a peace that comes over you. It part of the biggest problem that I had was this anger and hatred and bitterness, and the ability to not forgive, because I felt that I had been hurt by so many people in the world, and I was just bitter at everything, and I just couldn't stand certain people, and I didn't want to be around certain people. And it was when I started getting that drive that God started changing my heart, and I was able to forgive. Once you forgive, forgiveness is the biggest one. Once you're able to forgive people, once you're able to understand that people just are going to be people. They're going to say things and do things, and they're going to follow the ways of this world. They're just not going to follow the ways of God, and they're going to make their mistakes. They're going to do it their way, and it's not going to be anything about what you want, and it's going to make you mad. It's going to make you mad because you know that it's not the way to go. And that was stacking up on me because people had been hurting me like that for years and years and years. Um, you know, lying to me or telling me certain things or doing, stealing from me, and all of this stuff, all of it. And I had become bitter about it, and I was lashing out against people. Um, Lashing out at my stepdaughter because of it. And we had so many fights and so many arguments and so many shouting matches that I look back on it and I think, oh my God, I just thank God he pulled me out of that. And she had to go away and live her life outside of our house. She could not stay with us anymore because I was getting to the point, and I was getting to the point where my wife was saying, we can't do this. We can't live like this. And that was when I really started asking the Father for what to do. It was right around that time, and it wasn't overnight. I'm not going to say it was overnight, but it was pretty close to overnight. And he changed my heart. We were able to make amends. I was able to forgive. I don't know if she was ever able to forgive. I'm sure she was. But I, I was just able to just let it go. Just to be able to understand that you can't rule over somebody's life like that. You have to take care of yourself. And that was that. It was like that weight was lifted and we were able to have that peace. We were able to have that together. And that was at that very beginning where I had that fire and that drive to be better, to want to be better. And it was that push. It was that push that God was giving me, that I had to work to be better. And once you get that, you just want more. You just want more, and you want more, and you want more, and you hunker down and you study and you learn everything and you try to get everything in there. And it all happened right before the lockdowns. Once we got sent home, man, it was a completely different monster. I honestly wonder how many people, because of the lockdowns, got better. We're able to hunker down more and get more. I know I've heard a lot of people that have come to the truth because of the lockdowns. They've started looking into these things, and they've started finding God, and they've started, making their journey, making their path. I just wonder how many people that had that drive, like me, that fire started fading just a little bit. I'm the first person to admit it. That fire started fading a little bit, and I had to start praying. I had to start making it a part of my prayers that God, give me that fire back. And He's giving it back little by little by little. It's not a perfect system for me, because again, I have He's brought us to this point, and there's still more that He has to teach me. There's still more places He has to take me to. But lately I've definitely been getting a message to take care of what we have here first, and then we can start talking about becoming more spiritually, if that makes any sense as well. That is what it is. That is what it is. Like I said, it's that It's that drive you get, and it does fade, but you're always in there, and you always ask to come back to it. I can't be the only one that's seen it, that understands that, you know, it's fallen apart. They have found a way. The evil ones, the spirits of evil of this world have found a way to manipulate us into losing just enough faith that it will kick that fire back a little bit. Don't lose it. Don't lose it all. Keep strong. Keep strong. Keep in the faith. Keep in the word. Full armor of God. Bible says that. Full armor of God. Let's go back through this now that I went on my 20 minutes, whatever the heck that was. That's what it was too, man. But let's start at the top of this. See if we can pull some things out of it. Princes have persecuted me without a cause. There it is again. Once again. People have persecuted me, have hurt me, destroyed me, maimed me for no reason, just because they can. But my heart standeth in awe of thy word. I rejoice at thy word, as one that findeth great spoil, because the word is the truth. The truth is the only thing of substance in this world right now. I hate and abhor lying. I hate lying. There's that word again, hate. People don't like to hear that word because they think that we're all supposed to be full of love and peace and oh, we're supposed to do this, supposed to do that, and everything's supposed to be loving and peaceful. Love thy neighbor, do this, do that. And yet you come along these words, I hate and abhor lying. That is a big, heavy word. I hate and abhor lying, but thy law do I love. 7 times a day do I praise thee because of thy righteous judgments. The Bible says we should pray constantly. Great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. But you will find peace in the word, and nothing will offend you. Lord, I have hoped for thy salvation, and done thy commandments. My soul hath kept thy testimonies, and I love them exceedingly. I have kept thy precepts and thy testimonies, for all my ways are before thee. For everything I do is for you, Father. Please forgive us all. Okay. That is really all I have about it. I bet you probably half of it was just fluff. I honestly do wonder if anyone that really knows anything about anything comes along these videos and are like, man, this guy's an idiot. I just wonder. I really do. I'm trying here. I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the truth. I don't know. I'm just trying to get through it. I was just a guy that happened to have a YouTube channel that was saved by God and then was told, why don't you start talking about this stuff? Start talking about this stuff. Why don't you try to go help other people? So that's where we are. So I was told that I need to come out here and try to help people. So we're trying to help people. We're doing our best here, guys. So anyways, I'm going to get off here so I can start logging in. We have one more letter. And then we'll be moving on to other Psalms. I know that I said somewhere along the line that, this was going to be Psalm 119 just by itself was going to be a string of videos on its own. But now that it's almost over, now that I'm thinking, man, we went through 21 of these things, I'm like, where did time go? But we're through it, you know? I mean, we're getting through it. We got one more. That will be Monday. If I decide to do something tomorrow, which I don't know if I will or not. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. But yeah, after that we'll get through the rest of it. After the Psalms are done, I have no clue what I'm going to do. I am going to pray for wisdom on what I'm going to do after that, and we'll see. We'll see what happens after that. So I am officially logging in. See if my VPN actually works. Hey, my VPN actually worked. All right. Because, yeah, it's been a nightmare. That thing it took me like 7 tries the other day. I counted up to at least 5 and I stopped counting, so maybe 7. I don't even know. It's just like, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They're going to make it where you need a secondary identification for everything, because everything's a service, because you own nothing anymore. Everything is a service now. Even video games are a service. You have to agree to a terms of service for video games. You can go out and you can buy a video game at the store, you can plug it in, you can get the updates, all this stuff. But every game has a service. Terms of service now. That means that they can shut that game off anytime they want to. You do not own that. The same as music. The Spotify, the radio, all this other kind of stuff. Those are services that they give to you. Unless you own the actual physical copies, you do not own music. It's not yours. It's Windows. Windows is a service. It's not. I got Windows 10 for free. This is a service that they have provided to me, that they can shut this down at any time they want to. They do that because it is a control system. And I know this is going off on another tangent, but it's a control system. Everything is a service. Facebook, Yahoo, email, Google. All these things are services. None of this stuff is there for you to have. It is all there for you to use, but they can shut it off at any moment. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, services. If you do something wrong, they will shut it down. It is a system of control, is what it is. If you get too far out of control, you can never use a computer again, because every time you log into a computer, you have to put a password in now. Unless, you don't put a password in your computer, but it's a user profile that you make. All they have to do is find that user profile on their servers and just cut it off. That's all they have to do. They don't do it like broad sweeping right now because they don't have a law that says that they can do it. But it's what it is. It's like telephone service. It's like texting. It's a service. They control it. There's nothing in this world. They don't want you to own anything in this world because they want to be able to control everything. So I don't know what to go with that. I don't know where to go with that. It's going to get to the point to where you're going to have to identify yourself for every single thing that you do in this world. And then it's going to become, if you do not follow the guidelines that we set out for you, then we will simply shut off your existence. That's exactly what's going to happen. It's what's happening. You hear some of the horror stories that come out of China with the social credit system. It's it's coming. What are you doing to fight it? What are you doing to fight it? If you're doing nothing to fight it, then you're just going to fall for it. This is the one world order control grid that everybody has been talking about, that's been coming for years and years and years, but nobody's ever listened, and nobody still thinks that it doesn't exist. It's headed right to your front door, and you need to start fighting back. I don't have anything else other than that. Really, I don't have anything else other than that. You were warned. Everybody was warned. We've been warned since we've been warned since like the 40s. The 40s and the 50s, probably even before that. There are radio broadcasts from the 50s of a guy talking about this kind of stuff. There were books from the 30s. I think it's what it was, one of them. Probably before that it was bigger than that. I already talked about one of the older videos. I talked about the word conspiracy. And right up before the 1880s, 1890s, it was a capital C conspiracy. It was one of those word usage things, on Google that they do, how much the word has been used through the years. And the capital C conspiracy was used right up until the 1890s, whenever the lowercase c conspiracy started popping up in the 1890s. And then from there, that one kind of blossomed off. So it was like, what was the change? Maybe it was the 1790s. I don't even remember. I can't even tell you what video that was either, man. That was so long ago. But I looked it up and I was like, what is this Big C conspiracy? What's that? Is it a title of a book? Surely, if it was a title of a book, then we need to go find that book. But I don't know. It was just the conspiracy. Big C, capital C. But it changed somewhere along the line. It changed to little c. And that's what we've used since. It's very strange. It makes you think. Especially whenever you talk about the timeline where, everything seems to have just magically started back in the mid 1800s. So what's going on there? Just makes you think. I don't know. All right. I shall talk to you guys later. God bless everyone. Take care of yourselves. Don't be fooled today. It is April 1st. You are the fool. You are the fool that allows this to happen to you. That there was a video I saw, or I didn't even watch it. I saw it though. That the title of it was "You Are the Gatekeeper." You are. He had to emphasize it. You are the gatekeeper. You are. No one else is the gatekeeper on this stuff. You are the gatekeeper. So what are you doing about this? What are we doing here? We have the power to be able to stop this, but we're not. We're just letting it happen. So what are we doing? All right. Anyways, you guys take care of yourselves. I shall see you all Monday. Later.